right. Josh Van in the house, UFC 323. Let's do it. Flyweight championship. I mean, brother, you just turned 24. This is so much, so soon, but I feel like you're ready for it.
Yeah, it ain't too soon. But it's perfect timing. Yes, sir.
Indeed, indeed. Alexandre Pantoja, the great champion in your future. Look, Josh, this is it's not a young man's game. If you look at the UFC right now, there's one champion below
hmm
the age of 30, and that's Ilia Topuria. How are you going to be able at 24 to crash this party and bring it back to the youth here in the UFC?
Man, I'm just well prepared, I guess, you know what I mean? So I'm very, very excited for this fight and bringing the new era's fighting, you know what I mean? Pantoja has done what he done, and now I feel like it's time for the new fighter. So December 6th, we finna come and, may the best man win.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. When you turned pro in 2021, if someone had said to you 4 years later, this is where you're going to be, what does Josh Fan say at that point?
I believe it. I believe it. I always said it. I always said it. Ever since I started fighting, man, was it my second fight in the amateurs, like, I always knew that's what I want to be, the UFC champion. So, I will definitely believe it.
I love it. I love the confidence. I love to hear it. Let's talk about the fight that got you here against Brandon Royval. Might be the fight of the year. Intense action. Were you surprised at all that he was so willing to go life or death from the opening gun there?
Yes, I thought he would be like, trying to take me down or things like that. But, knowing Roy Vaughn, man, he's a dog. You know what I mean? He got nothing but my respect. So knowing Royval, he want to put a banger fight. You know what I mean? And especially when Dana White says for the title contender. So I think that probably what it was. But yeah, I was a little surprised that he ain't trying to take me down or nothing.
Were you hurt at all? How crazy was that fight to be part of?
Shit, I was hurt. I was hurt for sure. Like he was landing all them punches, but you know what I mean. At the end of the day, we come up on the top, so that's all that matter. But shout out to Roy Vol for giving me a chance to fight with him. You know what I mean? Without him, I would have never got this opportunity. So shout out to Roy Vol, So I'm just blessed to be in this position, man.
I mean, that's the word because you got the Royval fight because Manel Cop wasn't available. Then you get that win. Then it's like, are they going to give him the title shot? It all happened so fast, so
Yeah.
perfectly. Are you a believer that this is all fate? This is all the plan from day one?
Yeah, I believe in destiny, and I feel like, all of our life is written before we ever enter this world. So you know what I mean? I feel like that was meant to be. So yeah.
All right. How do you begin to create a game plan to deal with somebody as decorated and well rounded as Pantoja?
Well, the game plan, we can make all these game plans and things like that, but come fight day, it's gonna be completely different, and I know that, you know what I mean? So the goal is just to do my own thing right there, you know what I mean? Just just be Joshua Van, man. You know what I mean? So that's the game plan.
All right, like who is Joshua Van? What do you think it is about your fighting style, your ability that has allowed you to cut this line and get right to where you are right now?
Self-belief, you know what I mean? Self-belief. I believe in my teams and things like that. So I'm the type of guys that if we work on something in the gym, I will use it in the cage and things like that. You know what I mean? So I'm just ready to show you guys what we've been working. You know what I mean? So I can't wait for December 6th.
Well, it's a huge leap to get to the title level. It becomes a 5 round fight. You've watched Pantoja. He's been a part of some serious wars. How do you know that you have the gas tank, the backbone to go 25 hard with that guy if you have to?
Yeah. When was the last time you see me getting tired? You know what I mean? So I'm well prepared for 5 rounds, and we've been sparring more than 5 rounds. So uh, I'm well prepared, man. I'm very, very, yes. This training camp has been hard, but I'm glad it's about to be over, and what I mean, we about to fight. So
Well, look, when you're on the journey to something special, sometimes you can get flashbacks to the hard times in your life of what led up to get to this point. What are those times that you think back that you had to push through that made you stronger for right now?
well, the fight that I lost, you know what I mean? I feel like I didn't put enough work in the gyms and things like that, so I don't ever wanna. Cause me, if I lose the fight, I don't want to lose a fight because the other guys put more work than me. You know what I mean? So now I know that that's not the case because I know I put in work and things like that. So if he beat me, that's because he's better than me. You know what I mean? Not because he outworked me and things like that. So yeah,
That was your one loss in 2024 in the UFC to Charles Johnson. Was there a period after where you doubted yourself at all?
never, never. I know why I lost that fight, and I was just like, okay, never again. And you know what I mean? So we just doing our thing after that.
All right, what would it mean to your family, your community, your support system to raise this championship belt December 6th?
It'll be amazing because not a lot of people know Myanmar. You know what I mean? So now I raise that belt, and the world will see what Myanmar is. You know what I mean? The world will know what Myanmar is, and I can't wait to represent my country in front of millions of people. You know what I mean? So I can't wait.
Man, it seems like you're just about that life. You know, like not I mean your nickname is the Fearless, right? So like where does that come from, man?
It just come from a movie, a series called The Last Kingdom. You know what I mean? I see this guy in the show. His name was Ragnar the Fearless, and I just like the way he carried himself. I'm like, oh, then I look at my fighting style, and I'm like, fearless. So I just named myself that.
Do you think the champion Pantoja will need to try to take you down to avoid striking head on with you?
Uh, yes, for sure. He definitely gonna try and take me down. Everybody know that. So you know what I mean? And that's why I'm well prepared on the ground. If you go to the ground, I'm well prepared too, you know what I mean? So I'm just uh I'm just ready for whatever. He wanna go on the ground, we can go on the ground. He wanna strike, we can strike. So uh yeah, whatever you bring to the table that night, I'll be ready for.
All right, this is your fourth fight of 2025. If you beat one of the top 5 pound for pound fighters and win the championship, go 4-0 in the year, are we looking at you in the fighter of the year debate here?
When I beat him, yes. When I beat him, I mean, it's depend on the people. You know what I mean? That's the people. You know what I mean? I can't just be like, "Hey, I'm the fighter of the year," but it's the people choice. So, whatever the people think, if they think I deserve it, uh, so be it.
I love it. I love it, man. This is such a unique opportunity. Like how early in the journey of your life was the idea being a fighter, being a UFC champion? When did that sort of come real to you?
So I really just want to fight, right? Cause I was fighting in the street and all these things, you know what I mean? And so I want to get into MMAs and things like that. And my first amateur fight, like I didn't think about like, oh, I'll be in the UFC or things like that, right? And uh, I was fighting in uh, a local promotion called Fury. And my first fight, it wasn't like that big yet, you know what I mean? And then my second fight in the UFC, I mean, my second fight in the Fury, they signed a deal with like the UFC Fight Pass. And
Sure.
then I was like, oh, yo, UFC Fight Pass, that's crazy. And then my coach was like, yeah, those are for like the pros and the main events and things like that. That's how the UFC scout like fighters and stuff like that. And I was only amateur back then, and I was like, oh, we can actually go to the UFC. You know what I mean? So from my second amateur fight, like I was like, damn, I want to be a UFC champion. So that was the day that I'm really like, oh shit, we can actually go to UFC. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. When you look at Pantoja, he is 35 now. He's been through so many hard fights. People are like kind of waiting for him to get old, yet it seems like he's getting better each fight.
Mm.
What are you expecting out of him? The best performance he's ever produced?
Yes. Yeah. Like like everybody say Pantoja's unstoppable, right? So when I beat him, I don't want to hear none of that. So you know what I mean? I feel like he's gonna be the best Pantoja you ever seen. And nothing but respect to him. Because as soon as they said Joshua Van, he didn't say nothing. He was like, I fight the guy. So I respect champion like that. So I feel like this is gonna be the best Pantoja. So I don't want nobody to say, "Oh, he's old." All right, so yeah,
He
just
don't
like
look
they
old
say I'm too
lately.
young. Yeah, yeah, they say
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
too young, and they say he's too old. Like I don't want that to be you know what I mean, the thing right here. So just so the people know, I said it here first. Yeah, yeah.
I love it.
Stay at that. Like he was unbeatable. You know what I mean? He's unbeatable right now. So I'm fighting the best Pantoja for sure.
All right, you've already stated not if, when I win. So are you going to have one eye on the Brandon Moreno Tatsuro Taira fight on the main card of UFC 323 to see who's coming up next?
No, this Pantoja is the guy. So that night, nothing but Pantoja. He's like he's like my girlfriend at this point. I'm obsessed with him. You know what I'm saying? I wake up thinking about Pantoja. You know what I mean? So I don't wanna look at other fighters yet. You know what I mean?
All right, so like whether it's Royval against Cop coming up or Horiguchi on the scene, you've just been focused on one man.
Yes, just Pantoja.
All right. All right. I can't wait to see it. UFC 323, December 6th. Joshua Van, not the youngest ever, but one of the youngest. And you seem like you are more than ready at age 24, man. Best of luck to you. We can't wait to see this fight.
Thank you.